Thank you, Speaker. I rise today to speak very briefly but to add my support to the National Redress legislation. And in doing so, I commend the decision of the then Gillard government in ordering a royal commission into an issue that desperately needed and still needs to be addressed. It is wonderful to be a part of the Palaszczuk government, which is supporting the National Redress Scheme in order to ensure that survivors of child sexual abuse have their experiences acknowledged and validated. I also acknowledge the bipartisan support that this legislation is receiving, and I think it is important that the Parliament is united in condemning these heinous offences and committed to doing whatever we can to right this wrong together. Sadly, Speaker, we know that a significant amount of child sexual abuse is perpetrated by someone who is known to that child and often to their family, somebody that they and their family trust. That is why child abuse is so insidious and why it can be so difficult to uncover. Worse still, some victims are not believed when they do disclose, adding insult to injury. This legislation is so important. My electorate of Mount Ommaney is very close to Wolston Park in Wacol, where harrowing abuse was perpetrated over many years. Many residents at Wolston Park have bravely spoken on the public record about the abuse that they were subjected to, and some of them now call Mount Ommaney home. It is horrifying to acknowledge that some of this abuse was carried out in facilities that were state-run, and that's why I am so pleased and I'm so proud that as part of the legislation, the state will ultimately take responsibility for ensuring redress is made in the circumstances where the relevant body is no longer active. These survivors have waited long enough to have their hurts acknowledged. As the member for Gavin has said, there is no amount of money that can right these wrongs, but it is about doing what is right. So, Speaker, I commend this bill to the House.